Dear viewer, why don't we just delete Monday? Picture this, it's 3 a.m. on a Sunday night, and I'm lying in bed, desperately trying to fall asleep. I need to wake up early for work tomorrow, but sleep just won't come. You see, I've just finished an amazing weekend, filled with late nights and lazy mornings. Now, as I toss and turn, my body clock is completely out of whack. As I lie there, wide awake, my mind starts to wander. I think about all the other Americans who must be in the same boat right now. How many of us are lying awake, dreading the harsh reality of Monday morning? How many alarms will be snoozed? How many coffee pots will be drained dry? And then, in that strange state between wakefulness and sleep, a wild thought strikes me. What if we could just delete Monday? Poof! Gone! You see, Mondays and I have a long-standing feud. It's like the universe conspired to cram all my life's disasters into this one day of the week. The end of the weekend blues, the struggle to get back into work mode, the mountain of emails waiting in my inbox, it's all too much. But wait a minute. Can you actually do that? Has anyone ever messed with the week before? Suddenly, I'm even more wide awake, my mind racing faster than a caffeinated squirrel. I leap out of bed, dive into my sea of books, and what I uncover is absolutely mind-blowing. Buckle up, folks, because we're about to take a wild ride through time, space, and some seriously wacky calendars. Our journey begins in 18th century France. Imagine a country where the rich don't pay taxes. I know, shocking, right? They've just lost a costly war, and to top it off, a hurricane destroys the harvest. It's like the universe hit France with a perfect storm of let-them-eat-cake proportions. Side note, that famous let-them-eat-cake quote? It's actually just a rumor that people believe due to confirmation bias. For more on how our brains can trick us, check out our episode, Are You Being Fooled? But fair warning, you might want to bring your shock-absorbing cushion because that episode is mind-blowing. Now, where were we? Ah yes, chaos in France. In this tumultuous time, the king decides to call a parliament meeting. Sounds normal, right? Wrong! It had been 175 years since the last one. That's like your boss calling a staff meeting after ghosting the entire company since before the invention of the telephone. Now, here's where it gets juicy. The parliament was divided into 3 parts, 1/3 aristocrats, 1/3 church, and 1/3 common folk. With the bigwigs holding 2/3 of the votes, you can bet your last croissant that the common folk always got the short end of the baguette. Fed up with this rigged game, the common folk's representatives storm out. And what do the others do? They lock the doors behind them. It's like a political version of You Can't Sit With Us. But our plucky underdogs weren't about to give up. They head to a tennis court. And no, they weren't there to work on their backhand. In a scene straight out of a historical drama, they take an oath that kickstarts one of the biggest shakeups in world history, the French Revolution. Enter Robespierre, a man with a grudge against the church and a flair for the dramatic. This guy decides to change everything. And I mean everything, from the government to the calendar itself. Here's where it gets crazy. Robespierre declares that a minute should have 100 seconds, an hour 100 minutes, and get this, a week should have 10 days. Can you imagine? Thank Robespierre, it's decady? Doesn't quite have the same ring to it, does it? It wasn't just random craziness, it was revenge. His goal was to confuse people so much they couldn't figure out when Sunday was, preventing them from going to church. Talk about holding a grudge. Now, my idea of deleting Monday doesn't seem so crazy after all, does it? But hold on to your hats, because this rabbit hole goes even deeper. As I dug through mountains of dusty tomes, I uncovered more shocking calendar conspiracies. Did you know that in ancient Rome, they had an 8-day week? And in China, it was 10 days. The Aztecs? They went all out with a 13-day week. It's like they were all playing a cosmic game of pick a number, any number. And here's where we need to pause and ask ourselves, with all this chaos around the number of days in a week, why do we currently have 7 days? What's so special about the number 7? Well, buckle up, because we're about to get celestial. The ancient Babylonians, those stargazing pioneers, based their week on the 7 celestial bodies they could see with the naked eye. That's why we have Sunday, Sun's Day, Monday, Moon's Day, and so on. Mind-blowing, right? But here's the kicker: unlike days, Earth's rotation, months, Moon's orbit, or years, Earth's trip around the Sun, weeks don't correspond to any astronomical cycle. They're like the rebel child of time measurements, marching to the beat of their own drum. Now, as we stand at the precipice of this mind-bending journey through time and calendars, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. Time, weeks, calendars, they're all human inventions, attempts to make sense of our chaotic world. But you know what's truly important? It's not how we count the days, but how we make those days count. Whether you're living in a 7-day week, a 10-day decade, or heck, even if you decide to delete Monday, I won't judge. Remember this: what matters most is how we spend our time with loved ones and in appreciation of the wonders around us. From the moon that inspired Monday to the sun that gave us Sunday, our universe is an awe-inspiring place, regardless of how we choose to measure our journey through it. But beyond our loved ones and the marvels of the cosmos, there's an even greater source of wonder: the one who created it all. The same God who set the sun and moon in motion, who crafted the universe in all its intricate beauty for us to enjoy. Perhaps the true purpose of time isn't just to count our days, but to make our days count in harmony with His grand design. So, the next time you're celebrating the weekend, cursing a Monday, or plotting to overthrow Monday like yours truly, remember this: every day is a gift, no matter what number or name we give it. And hey, speaking of gifts, why not give yourself the gift of knowledge? Hit that subscribe button. Trust me, it'll make your week, no matter how many days are in it. And don't forget to check out our sources below. After all, you wouldn't want to be left scratching your head like a confused 18th century Frenchman trying to figure out what day it is, would you? Until next time, keep your days merry and your weeks weird.